They say losing a twin feels like losing a piece of yourself. That morning, I stood before a closed casket, staring at the polished mahogany surface, as if it might offer answers. The priest's voice echoed in the background, dull and distant. My wife clutched my hand too tightly. Across from us, our parents sat rigid, faces blank, like actors hitting their marks. Everything was controlled, tidy, grief packaged for display. Then my phone vibrated. An unknown number. A single message. "I'm not dead." That's not me in the casket. It came from Evan's number. My heart didn't stutter, it stopped. I just stared at the screen, frozen, until my wife leaned in and whispered, "Is everything okay?" I nodded.
Lied.
I typed, "Where are you?" The reply came after a pause, just those ominous dots blinking. Then,
Can't say.
"They're listening. Don't trust your wife. Don't trust our parents." 2 months earlier, Evan and I were planning a hiking trip to Black Ridge. Just the two of us. We hadn't done anything like that since our college days. He said he needed it. Told me he felt like he was drowning. I assumed he meant his job, not them. Then came the fall. 30 feet. They said it was an accident. No remains I was allowed to see. His body too damaged, his face unrecognizable. "For your own good," they told me. Leela cried harder than I did. Evan and I were mirror twins, so identical it unsettled people. But inside, we were opposites. I kept us grounded. He chased after mysteries, hunted shadows. Still, he was everything to me. More than anyone. More than her. We co-founded the company, Cybersecurity. Evan wrote the software. I pitched it, sold it, made it real. But he grew paranoid over the last year, always checking for bugs, sweeping for spyware. I thought he was just burned out. Then he vanished. And slowly, the puzzle pieces he'd been holding started falling into place. I began to see things. The night after the funeral, Leela used Evan's laptop, but forgot to log out.
She didn't know I saw.
She also stared at the safe for too long, like she was calculating something. A necklace appeared around her neck, expensive. One I never gave her. Our parents? They suddenly had money. New assets. Overseas accounts. I dug into our finances and found something Evan had never mentioned, an alternate account tied to the company. It had been emptied just days before his so-called accident. I didn't confront anyone. I listened. Sometimes silence is the sharpest blade, if you know how to wield it. While they carried on, thinking I was still in the dark, I started laying the groundwork the way Evan used to build his firewalls. Layer by layer, impossible to trace, and never rushed. My first step took me back to his old apartment. Hidden behind a vent, I found an encrypted hard drive. Once I cracked it, everything was there, voice recordings, journals, documents. It all confirmed what I feared. Evan had uncovered a secret. Our company wasn't just a business, it was a pipeline. My wife, along with our parents, had turned it into a channel for selling sensitive data to foreign interests. Evan had tried to blow the whistle.
He caught it all on tape.
I heard her voice, my wife, say, "We can't let you ruin this for all of us." They tried to erase him. First legally, then financially, and when that didn't work, they tried physically. But Evan was always 3 moves ahead. He staged a fall, used acid to make a body unrecognizable, left it where they'd find it, and vanished. He left me the trail, the tools, the truth. It was up to me to finish what he started. I began moving quietly. I arranged an independent audit of our finances, tipped off a global agency about shady transfers connected to a shell corporation. Then I lied to Leia, told her I was thinking of selling the company. I watched her unravel, calls, meetings, moves she thought I couldn't see. Meanwhile, I was sitting with a lawyer Evan had once trusted. The same one who helped him prepare a plan in case the worst happened. That plan left everything to me if foul play was proven. At home, I acted like nothing had changed. Smiled through dinners, nodded through conversations. She smiled back, too eager, too forced. One evening, I opened a bottle of vintage wine and said, "To new beginnings." She raised her glass first. The next morning, the feds walked into her office. Their downfall came like a slow collapse. Tax evasion, espionage, conspiracy, obstruction, it all caught up to them. The evidence Evan had left was undeniable. They tried to erase him.
Instead, they exposed themselves.
Their shocked faces on the news weren't those of mourners anymore, just people caught red-handed. 3 days later, I met Evan in a quiet cabin near the Canadian border. He looked different, older, tougher. He didn't say much, didn't even hug me, just stared, like he wasn't sure I was real. I gave him the company title, the passport, the spare set of keys. "You sure you're not coming?" he asked. I shook my head. I wanted to stay, to make sure they knew exactly who survived. He disappeared. I remained. The narrative shifted from mourning to scandal. I gave public statements that were carefully composed, never too emotional. They cast me as the loyal brother, the betrayed CEO. I let them. Behind the scenes, I liquidated everything they had ever built, every dirty cent. I gave it away to the causes Evan used to care about. I built something honest from the wreckage. I don't visit the fake grave anymore. Let it sit with the lies they constructed. I still think about him sometimes. Not the version they tried to erase, but the one who beat them all.
They always saw me as the quiet one.
What they didn't realize was we were twins. They picked the wrong brother to silence. And I made sure they paid for it in full.